Hey YouTube, Longboys Post 1975. This is a video response. It's been a while since I've done a video response, so I thought this could be a bit of fun. Video response to a very good friend of mine, Patty from Pattimus. She's in my channel shuffle list. I'm going to put a link to her channel in the doohickey down below. I'll also link the video. I recommend you watch it. It's cool. And I recommend you go and check out her channel because it's a slice of fried gold. Her latest video, she has 10 random questions. She wants you to answer every single one of them. You can skip if you want to. You know, she's not going to come around and kneecap you. Her words, not mine. If you want to skip a question, I may have to skip two, Paddy, but we'll get to those questions, and why I want to do so when we're there. Yeah, I really do like random question, tags like this, and I do like making random videos because I used to make a lot more than I do now, and I should probably get back to doing that a little bit. People, just because you have a video gaming channel doesn't mean you can, think outside the bun a little bit and have some fun. Anyway, sorry, waffling already. Let's crack into this. Question number 1. Now, I'm going to answer these as honestly as I can, but don't take it too seriously because some of my answers may sound a little bit silly, but that's generally my answer. Number 1, how are you? I'm alright. Just not looking forward to this week. Nothing too heavy, nothing too bad, but down to my poor housekeeping, my car MOT and my car tax have to both be renewed in the same week, and I kind of because I let the ball drop, but yeah, just a pain in the ass when you have to do stuff but you don't have the luxury of doing it on your days off. You have to do it on your days when you work, which when you work nights is even more of a pain in the ass. So entirely my fault, I know, but it just means this week's gonna be pain in the ass. Also, it's getting warm now. I'm not a fan of summer. I'm really not a fan of summer. There's nothing wrong with you if you are, and I'm not a negative person. I just like winter and cooler weather. If you could go anywhere in the world, money wasn't an object, and if you could do it, you would have all the money. Who would you go with and why? Apologies if I'm drifting off your questions a little bit, Paddy. I wrote them down yesterday. Yeah, now, anywhere in the world, bear with me. I don't know if I'm breaking the rules so much as twisting them, but I would go to the International Space Station. Here's why. Because if you're absolutely loaded, then you can go to the International Space Station. It's not cheap, but you could do so. And you have to do it from this world. Now here's why. And I genuinely only found this out the other day. I would go with Brian Blessed. No guff. Brian Blessed is going to the International Space Station. Seriously, I shit you not. Look it up. Amazing. Why would I go with him? Well, because he's cool. 1, he's got the best voice in the world. 2, he can swear better than any other individual on the planet. If you've seen the Stephen Fry documentary, you know what I'm talking about. In 3, come on, hanging out with Brian Blessed in space. Fucking amazing. And you can make him send a message back to NASA and just say it, quote it, you want to. Gordon's alive. Sorry. Oh, here's a question I really couldn't answer. If you could be a member of the opposite sex for 24 hours, would you, and why, and what would you do? I really couldn't answer this because if I was going to be a member of the opposite sex for 24 hours, but here's the kicker, as yourself, with your your mindset, then I think it would be self-defeating to some degree. Sure, you get to experience the physical, aspects or natures of being a bird, sorry, but at the same time I think the fear of retaining those memories when you went back to being a bloke might kind of make you hold back, so you wouldn't probably go into it 100%. Plus, and I don't mean to drift away from your question, Paddy, but I think it would be more interesting to go into it as not entirely yourself, so you would truly see what the world is like, through the eyes of the opposite member of the sex, because the things that you would naturally perceive differently. Don't think I'm a chauvinistic prick when I say this, such as shopping. Sorry, but I'm just basing this on every girl I've ever been out with, where clearly you see the inside of a store different than us. Don't hate me, people. I'm really not a chauvinistic prick. Do you have a hero, or someone you aspire to be? Yes, I could never achieve or aspire to do anything like he did, and again, this may sound like a cliche, but it's Bruce Lee. And not just because I was raised on kung fu movies, but I absolutely love and adore Bruce Lee because I've read all his books. Not only was he best fighter, martial artist ever, to this day, but he achieved so much. He broke down so many boundaries. Just an absolutely incredible person. And not just because, as I said, he was the best martial artist ever. He strove for equality, and quite frankly, if you've read his books, you know what I mean. His philosophy is incredible. It's read a Bruce Lee book. You'll know what I mean. It's just one of the most amazing and refreshing things you'll ever get to experience. We are now number 5. If you could be any animal, what would it be for one day? Easy for me. An eagle. Why? Simple, because I think everyone wants to be able to fly, and I don't mean with the aid of a vehicle or something like that. Everyone wants to be able to fly. So if you know, your only way to achieve it would be to be as an animal. So I would want to be a bird, not to be confused with question number 3 for those who are outside the United Kingdom when I say bird and bird. But if I was going to be a bird, to make sure that my day went swimmingly and, you know, I didn't get eaten or anything like that, I'd be an eagle, because then I'd be, you know, king of my airspace. I'd be top of the pecking chain. In fact, I would be the bird to eat other birds. Oh, sorry. Never mind. Oh, that sounded terrible. If you could be a superhero, what would your superpower be? You know, and why? Would you have a superhero? What would be your situation? The situation would be simple. I would ask for one simple power. The ability to explain to any individual the error of their ways and why they should change it, and they would change it. That would be the greatest power in the world. You could fix everything. Think about it. Light, don't die on me. I don't know if you can see that. Actually, maybe I should change it to the ability to fix my light. Yeah, you know, you could just pull someone aside and just go, here's what you're doing wrong and here's where you need to change. Fantastic, you know. You can literally fix everything, you know. Hey, China, can I call you? I just need 2 minutes to talk to you about your appalling human rights. I think that would be an absolutely fantastic superpower, and it would be brilliant in its simplicity. Right, the next question, you've got to pick one of 4 choices. The first choice is you can have a dinosaur of your choosing, but it would be a pet, you know. It wouldn't kill you, it would be like your best mate, but it also has to be a transport source. Number 2, you could never feel physical pain again, but at the expense of your emotional pain would be incredibly amplified. Number 3, you could have the Midas touch. Literally anything you touched would turn into, you know, the wealth, the jewel, you know, the precious material of your choice, but that would include organic material. And number 4 would be, would you like true immortality? You would look the same, but you would live forever. Nothing would kill you. This for me is easy, because it may sound like the silliest of answers, but it would be, I'd have a dinosaur of my choosing, and it would be a raptor. And I'll tell you why. I don't want my emotional pain to be amplified through the roof, because, you know, enough stuff upsets me as it is, and watching the news is just an effort. So that would just be incredibly painful. Plus, if you fell in love and you got dumped, think about it. Ooh, that's bad enough as it is. I wouldn't want the Midas touch, because if you touched everything, literally, then ultimately you would basically be alone, because you could never embrace another individual again. True mortality, for those of us, especially me, rapidly approaching middle age, that may sound like an amazing thing, but here's the thing with immortality, isn't it? It's forever. Ooh, bad, I know. Stick with me on this. You know, as much as you could experience everything, as much as you could learn everything, you know, you could literally learn everything, your mindset, your knowledge group would be absolutely incredible. The problem with that is the universe is finite. So, yeah, you could live forever, but at some point, the opposite of the Big Bang or whatever is going to happen, assuming that the world doesn't get wiped out before then, which I think is probably higher up on the cards. So what happens after, you know, the world finally ends? And you're in non-matter, or whatever happens after, you know, the galaxy collapses in on itself. That's it. You're stuck. You're there for eternity, you know. You think an episode of Loose Women is long? Trust me. An eternity of just floating around without even a fucking Game Boy. Or that would be the ultimate torture, wouldn't it, if you think about it? Next question. Do you believe in the magic in a young boy's heart? Sorry, Paddy, what does that even mean? I can't answer it. I don't know how to answer it. I quite like this one. Furniture. One piece of furniture. Is there one piece of furniture that, you know, is your one, you know, solution for everything? Bed. Not just because I like sleeping. I do like sleeping, but bed. Brilliant. Because, and Paddy touches upon this, I do everything on my bed, I mean, possibly it's the reason I have a bad back. I don't sit in chairs. I sit on my bed cross-legged. I do my computer on it. I play my video games on it. I have a variety of things sat on my bed at any one time. It really, really is my media hub. DVD players over there, computers there, a selection of magazines. It just, I like the fact that I can just tuck myself neatly into a corner and arrange all this cool shit all over it. Brilliant. So yeah, I mean, the only time I sit down, or the most time I sit down, is driving in my car. If you could be any species from anything, from fiction or anything like that, anything apart from God, what would it be? Yeah, this might sound a bit cheap, but I generally mean this. Han Solo. Come on. Job done, eh? Anyway, please go and check out Paddy's video. It's epic, and go and check out her channel. But that was my answer to her 10 random questions. Answers, I should say. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.